melody, which has always been Greek to me.
WSUC, Cortland.
Sit back, snuggle.
Don't forget.
Crank it up.
Crank it up.
The musical stylings of 90.5.
The Dragon.
Hey, Central New Yorkers, you're listening to the Sports Word on 90.5 WSUC. The Dragon is currently 8:31. I'm Robert Gaume, and I'm here in the studio with Steven Somsky as well as Dylan Peebles on the phone. Dylan, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good. How you doing?
Oh, we're doing good. Well, first of all, I just want to say congratulations on a good season so far. You guys 7-2 coming into your final regular season game of the year versus Ithaca. What are you doing to get ready for this game, the Cortaca Jug?
To us, it's just been another work week. I mean, we aren't taking it any more serious than we have any other game.
Does the bye help you guys coming into the Ithaca, into the game versus Ithaca?
I think it was planned out perfectly because we've had a long season. It was good to get a week of rest in before we went into this battle.
How does coming off a loss versus Morrisville affect you guys differently than if you had beaten them?
Honestly, I don't think it mattered that much. I mean, it kind of affected our Empire 8 standing. I mean, we still will clinch the championship with a win, but
right.
I mean, really, it didn't really mean anything to us.
Well, you had a strong performance in that game, 25 carries for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. Can you talk a little bit about your role this year as compared to the last 2 years with this team?
It's been the same. Just make plays whenever I get a chance to have the ball in my hands.
Well, you've done a great job both as the running back for Cortland and the kick returner because you ranked 16th nationally in kick return yard average to 27.3 yards per return this season. Of course, last year you were D3Football.com All-American for the kick return. How important is it to have a good kick returner on your team? And of course, you've done a great job. But how vital is that to what Cortland's trying to do?
Coach Murphy, our special teams coach, he's a mad scientist when it comes to special teams, and special teams can have a huge impact on the game, as if you can tell by last year's Cortaca or anything else. But it's huge because when teams have to kick to us because we have such a great offense, and then when we have great returns, we set up the field position great.
Absolutely. You guys are going to be facing off against Jordan Shem, so I don't know if you know, but he's leading the nation in kickoff return average, 37.6 yards on the return for Ithaca. How have you guys, do you know what kind of planning goes into stopping him?
I'm not really sure. I'm not in the room for the kickoff meetings, but I'm sure they've got a nice little plan for him. And
getting prepared. Now, let me ask you this. You guys love to do that handoff thing. How often is that a planned thing, or is that you guys just making the adjustment as you see the defense coming at you?
That's just week to week. It just depends on the kickoff scheme that we're facing that week.
If you had to compare your game to an NFL running back, who would you choose?
Oh, man. I'd like to say Adrian Peterson because I'm a one-cut downhill runner with a lot of speed.
Who would you say your favorite player is besides Peterson?
Favorite player? Well, actually Marshawn Lynch. He's definitely by far my favorite player. The energy that he plays with and the physicality.
Well, I could definitely say the same thing about you, Dylan. You like to run people over, that's for sure.
It's fun.
So let me get back to the Jug game here. Ithaca has lost 4 straight games this season. How much do you look into what they've been doing coming into the game, and do you think that the fact that they've been on this little skid affects how they're going to come into this game? And really, they're out of playoff contention, but they could really spoil the season for you guys if they come and knock you off here.
And it's all records are out the window once this game starts. Last year and a few years before that, we've played spoiler for them.
Yep, absolutely.
So
you talk about last year, that victory where you on the sidelines, like what's going through your mind? You think that it's probably going to be a field goal to send it to overtime. You'll get another shot at it. And then you see the ball hit the ground and you see Hinton pick it up. Talk about that roller coaster of emotions from the time where you thought it was going to be a field goal to the time you see Mannix catching the ball in the end zone.
I just thought what was going through my head. I said, "Oh crap!" Just because of weeks 1 and 2 last year.
Right.
I was thinking it was just deja vu all over again. And then once Hitton rolled out and threw it to Mannix and he scored, there was no reaction. We just all stormed the field.
So how much does that win and that kind of win in upset fashion play into giving you guys momentum to come into this year, with heads held high and ready to do some damage in this Empire 8?
We had it planned right from the beginning. We knew this was our first year in. That win doesn't really, obviously it doesn't matter anymore, but we still have statements to make, and we plan on coming out strong Saturday.
Do you have any pregame rituals that you go through before games? Like maybe a certain song you listen to?
Always Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne.
Always Lil Wayne.
Now, talk a little bit about your Cortaca Jug history. So last year you mentioned your kick return there, 91 yards for the touchdown. Obviously that was a huge momentum swing and putting you guys back into that ball game. And you also had a touchdown on the ground. And then in 2013 you had 63 yards on the ground and a touchdown. So 2 straight years you've had a touchdown. What's it like going into your last Cortaca Jug game, and what do you expect?
I expect it to be crazy over there. I think there's they said over 10,000 fans are expected. It's going to be nuts. I'm just going to go out there and play my part and take what the defense gives me and just play as hard as I can and do what I can for our team to win.
What advice would you give to players that have never played in a Cortaca Jug, so maybe some of the freshmen that are on the team, or a transfer like your quarterback, Steven Ferraro? What kind of advice would you have for them?
Like we've been saying, like Coach Mack's been saying, it's just another game. That's all it really is.
No, come on. There's got to be a little more emotion going into it, right? That's the right thing to say, but you guys got to be a little more excited, right?
Yeah, everybody's hyped up. I can't sleep at night. I don't know if any of us can really sleep at night, but that's how I think of it in my head. Like I try not to get too hyped up. Like I'll get hyped up pregame, but right now it's one day at a time, one play at a time, and that's it.
So this will be your final Cortaca Jug. We want to talk about a little bit about maybe your favorite memory or what you'll miss the most about this rivalry between Ithaca.
It's fun beating Ithaca. I don't want to have to feel what a loss is like. So.
Well, right, yeah, you've never experienced it. 5 straight for Cortland, looking to go for their 6th straight for the first time in this rivalry.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So over the last 18 games in this series, we talked about this a little bit before on the show, but since 1997, 14 games have been decided by 8 points or less. Now, 5 of your 7 wins this season have been decided in the final minute. Do you think that these kind of close games this season have better prepared you for what you're expected to face?
Yeah, I feel like our coaches have just handled everything so well too. We execute everything that they've given us, so it's probably going to be a nail biter once again.
Now, the last question here as I'm wrapping up, what is your ultimate goal for this team this season? Obviously taking it one game at a time, but maybe start with what was the goal coming into the season and what is the goal from this point on?
Obviously, any team wants to win a national championship. We came in, and our plan was to make a statement our first year in the Empire 8, and that's still our goal. We want to get that championship and at least give ourselves a chance in the playoffs. And that was my goal when I transferred in. I wanted to be on a winning team and get a championship.
So you transferred in from Campbell University. What went into your decision to transfer to Cortland?
I just wanted to be on a team that won. Because I've never been on a team. I've had all the the individual accolades, but I never was on a team that had a lot of victories. So that was a huge part in transferring here.
Well, you've been a big part of the reason Cortland has been so successful in the recent years. We want to wish you the best of luck coming up this game against Ithaca. I know we'll be rooting for you on the sidelines. I'm going to Ithaca to watch the game. Best of luck to you and your team, and we hope it results in yet another Cortland win. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks very much. See you there.
All right, best of luck to you, Dylan. All right, so that was Cortland running back Dylan Peebles. This will be his 3rd Cortaca Jug.